Hey guys, I just wanted to do a quick update video. I just got in from work and I've just been doing some painting, and I know I was trying to do one like every 2 weeks, and I just missed this weekend, so I thought I'd jump in and do it now. Haven't been advancing much with the army. I've kind of got the idea down of what I wanted the army to do for Age of Sigmar, so I'll talk about that, sort of let you know what my thoughts are regarding the units, how I want them to work, and then when I do eventually get a game in, if it actually works. But it seems pretty cool at the moment, so it's just been really assembling stuff. I've got one of the new demon boxes, the Corn Demon box for Age of Sigmar, with the 10 blood letters, 3 blood crushers, 1 skull cannon. So that's been getting put together. I also got with that 2 more boxes of blood letters, which brings me up to 60 in total. So if you know anything about the Corn list, then you can probably see where that is going. Like a blood letter spam overkill. Hopefully it'll work. So still, just sort of working my way through it, building it. I have had a skull cannon for ages that still isn't painted, and I've got another one to build now, so I'm like, what's going to happen? But anyway, I'll show you what I've got around to do recently. I managed to paint one of my blood crushers. This was the converted one. With the old Screamer of Tzeentch tail coming out the back there, which works pretty well. Hive Tyrant head with some extra horns. I think some off a Demon Prince. Where the big one is that on the Hive Tyrant? I don't think that is on the Hive Tyrant. I tried a different effect on his sword. Let's get that painted up so it's like a fiery sword. And he's on like a homemade scenic base with a bit of broken wall, which is a Tamiya kit I got from the local model shop. So he's looking pretty cool. Apart from him, painting-wise, I'm working on a Chaos Sorcerer at the minute. I'll put a bit more effort into this guy, blending all the sorts. So he's looking pretty cool at the minute. So we'll see where he ends up. But about 75% over there. I think I've just got to do the sword and like his staff and his arms, really. The rest of him's pretty much done. His feet, I really like what I did with the skirt. You can't quite see it on there, but it's kind of highlighted yellow. Oh, where am I going? Highlighted yellow, and it sort of fades back, and in the darkest creases it goes into a green. It's quite subtle, but it has like a slight pearlescent effect. But it looks pretty cool. So in the right light, you can sort of catch shades of green coming off it, even though it's red, and that works really well. I'm not sure I'll be able to achieve it again, but he looks quite magical, which is good for a sorcerer. So as far as the army goes, we're running. It's based around big units of blood letters. So I probably need to get a bloodthirster to add to it. But at the moment, it's 2 units of 30 blood letters, 6 blood crushers. I don't know how they're going to go. Whether there's going to be more blood crushers. 2 skull cannons. 1 demon prince. Sorcerer. Blood Secrator, maybe some heralds, but the main basis of the army, I'm just getting me war scrolls out, are the blood letters, because they have the whole thing. Decapitating Blow is one of their abilities, which, if you don't know what it is if the hit roll for the Hellblade, which is the laptop went to sleep. If the hit roll for the Hellblade is 6 or more, that blow inflicts a mortal wound instead of its normal damage. Normal damage being 1. So that's kind of the basis of it with bloodletters. So, you know, you have like 10 bloodletters normally. It's a 4+, but if it's a 6, it's a mortal wound. So out of the 10, you're probably going to get 5 that are 4+, so like 5 hits, and then maybe 1 or 2 that are going to be a 6 to deal 2 mortal wounds. They have the additional ability called Murderous Tide. Bloodletters attacking en masse are a terrifying prospect, swarming forward to eviscerate their foes with their hellblades. You can add 1 to hit rolls made for a bloodletter if its unit contains 20 or more models. So I went up to 30 in each unit, which might be too big, it might be too grouped together, and you're not able to get as many of them into combat. But I've just gone with 30 to see how it goes to begin with. So with 30, you get 1 to hit rolls, which means you're going to do that decapitating blow on a 5 or a 6 rather than just a 6. And that is how it works. I asked a manager in Games Workshop. So out of your 30 dudes, half of them are going to hit, and then 1/3 of those will be decapitating blows. So out of 30, no, you add 1 to hit, so it's even better than that, because then they're hitting on 3 pluses and 5s and 6s of mortal wounds. So out of 30 guys, 10 will miss, 10 will hit and do normal damage, and 10 will do mortal wounds. If you can get them all into combat. But that's kind of that's where I started. I was actually, you know, bloodletters are pretty cool. I was looking at bloodthirsters, all the other units, but actually a lot of bloodletters can do some pretty messed up stuff, like a lot better than the heroes. So then what you throw into the mix, they can re-roll to hit rolls of 1 as well. If they have a demon hero of Khorne nearby, which is like Skull Thrower and Herald, you could throw them in. So that's what I was talking about Heralds earlier. If there's one of those within 8 inches. So that could make it even more deadly. I haven't worked out the maths yet. Then you add a Blood Secretor. Blood Secretor is the new Khorne guy with a big banner. I haven't painted him yet, but I am looking forward to painting him. I sort of glued the one in the Age of Sigmar starter set together already, because I kind of wanted to do one that had a bloodletter head to tie them all together, but we'll see what we get with that. The Blood Secretor does a thing called Portal of Skulls, which is in your hero phase you can declare that this model opens up the Portal of Skulls. If you do until your next hero phase, you may not move the model, but it has the following abilities. Loathsome Sorcery, not interested in that. Rage of Khorne. Khorne units in your army. This is important because out of the Khorne Bloodbound guys, very few of them just have the Khorne keyword. A lot of them have the Khorne Mortal Khorne. So you can only do it with like Bloodbound guys or like Chaos Warriors. But the Blood Secretor has just Khorne, so it applies to demons as well. Units in your army within 18 inches of this model at the start of the combat phase, when they attack, add 1 to the attack's characteristic of all melee weapons used by these units. So what that means is rather than your 30 bloodletters doing 30 attacks, they're now doing 60 attacks. Oh, and they don't have to take battle shock tests. Oh, that's pretty good as well. But I'm interested in the 60 attacks. 30 bloodletters do 60 attacks. On average, 20 mortal wounds, 20 regular wounds, rerolling 1s if there's a demon hero of Khorne in there as well. That's pretty nuts. That's going to do some serious damage. So then, what I was just messing around with, I wanted to paint the Chaos Sorcerer Lord as well. It's not a huge buff, the Chaos Sorcerer Lord, but I threw him anyway, because he has an ability called Demonic Power. The sorcerer bestows his followers with demonic essence, boosting their skill, strength, and resilience to unholy levels. Demonic powers are casting value of 5. If successfully cast, pick the caster or a unit within 18 inches until your next hero phase. You can reroll any hit rolls of 1, wound rolls of 1, and save rolls of 1 made for that unit. Excuse me. So we're not too worried about the hit rolls of 1, but if your hero dies, so you're not getting the hit rolls for 1 anymore, that's not too much of an issue, because the Chaos Sorcerer Lord can do that to a unit as well. But he, possibly more importantly, does wound rolls of 1 as well. Save rolls he buffs, which is helpful. But again, I'm all interested in doing as many wounds as possible at this point. So your 20 normal damaging hits can be re-rolled to wound as well, which is pretty cool. So I'm just really sort of looking through the book, trying to find as many buffs as I can for these larger units of bloodletters. So bloodletters wound on a 3+, that's what I was looking at. And you've buffed that, so they're only going to not wound on a 2, because you get to reroll ones, which is pretty cool. Obviously, they might still not wound, but you get to reroll ones. And I think that is all I have to talk about today. If you've got any tips, Age of Sigmar tacticsy wise, how to run the thing that's got me about Age of Sigmar, possibly more than other games, is a lot of people in Games Workshop are trying to make me do 40k. But what's got me about Age of Sigmar is the whole, and I saw a YouTube video about this, is the whole formations thing that you actually play on the battlefield. Like, because I've got 2 units of 30 bloodletters, if I just run them in a big horde, like a big just swarm of bloodletters, like you see in all the battle reports, where they're all just sort of dotted around in like a mass, that when I get into combat, there's going to be a lot of bloodletters in the way of me getting into combat. Like the guys at the back probably aren't going to get within the 1 inch they need to do damage. You think their bases are like an inch, basically. So anyone in that second rank will probably get to hit, but anyone beyond that is going to be out of range. So I thought, actually, oh yeah, it makes sense. So what I would do then is run them in 2 rows of 15, so that everyone should get to hit, and then when they hit a unit, they sort of wrap around it and enclose it, and then they get to do damage. I know there's a lot of additional guys, a lot of the bloodthirsters, and there's other corn abilities which improve charge distances, let you charge in the hero phase, pile in moves, all of these different things to get guys into combat. So if anyone has ideas on how to do that, let me know. If the few people that watch this do Age of Sigmar Khorne Daemons, let me know. And I'll see you next time, guys. Thanks for watching.